Hey guys, it's Nathan here from Summit of Nothing. So last week I was taking some photographs to put on the Summit of Nothing Instagram page. Basically, I was taking some pictures of the Lanchin 2, which I'm quite excited about getting out and using. And I sort of dug out my Lowe Alpine Ascent, which is by far my sort of favourite pack. Now I haven't taken it out in a while because last time we went out I really wanted to take some landscape photos, you know, and I wanted to take my camera equipment with me. So I was like, right, how am I going to fit all this in? And then I sort of ended up going back to the Osprey Atmos 65. So it's got like an extra 15 litres of capacity. So today, I thought, I'm not doing anything else. So I was like, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and refine my kit to the point, if possible, I don't know that it's possible, where if possible I can get what I want and what I want to take with me into my favourite pack as opposed to having to take the bigger pack. Is there anywhere where I can save a bit of space, a bit of weight, whatever, to sort of make things a bit more easy and a bit more comfortable? So hopefully you guys are going to join me today and we'll see how that goes. Obviously we all pack our bags in different ways. You know, some people prefer to have a smaller bag and strap stuff to the outside of it. I quite like the sort of mountaineering, sort of climber style bags where they're long and narrow. I prefer to have a slightly bigger bag with everything inside of it as opposed to having strapped on the outside. One of the things that I really didn't like about my setup before is having my Thermarest ridge rest strapped down the outside of the bag. I also used to have a old military webbing pouch, water bottle pouch strapped to the outside to have an old military style water bottle in. So I'm going to try and get away from that. I don't even know what's in this bag. Paracord, collapsible water bottle, sewing kit, snug pack compression set for my snug pack sleeper bag. Food for thought, that is the bag for the DD Hammock Super Light tarp. Just bear that in mind when I'm packing that tent in instead. That is the tarp. I mean, how did it even go back into that bag? My old Gore-Tex bivvy bag. That about does it. Right. Some people say put the weight at the top, some people say put the weight at the bottom. For me personally, I'm going with the theory that whatever I want to use most regularly, I want to put at the top of the bag. So the thing that I'm going to use last of all, least of all, that's what's going to go at the bottom. Because this bag is very simple, there's a very few zips, it's very robust. If everything else fails, the main buckle is just this simple blue aluminium hook that just hooks through a webbing tab, you know? I mean, it's very unlikely that that's going to fail. Even if everything else at the top fails, you're still going to be able to seal the bag up with that, which is, to me, is really quite big. It's one of the reasons I love this bag so much. It's so light, it's so simple, it's so well thought out. It's over 1 kilo lighter than the Osprey Atmos. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to likely want to get out is going to be my sleeping bag. I've been using the same Mountain Hardwear Laminar 20 ever since we started the channel. I do use it with a Thermalite Reactor sleeping bag liner that adds several degrees of additional comfort. So I put that in there as well. For our first effort today, let's try putting the sleeping bag in its stuff sack. It might be the case that it works better in a separate dry bag around the bottom of the bag there. Whew. A little red in the face now. I think that's as good as we're going to get it. Normally I try and put this widthways across the bottom, but since the tent is now so small and it slits so nicely down the side of it, and the Thermarest Neo Air roll mat is so thin, and that can slide down between them all again. The bottom of the pack is quite full, but there is a lot of space there for something. So I could roll up additional clothing and slide it down there maybe, I don't know. We've got other things like a first aid kit, compass, flint strike, whistle, Sawyer Squeeze Mini, water filtration, water bottle. I'm not going to take a sewing kit, I'm not going to take paracord. I feel compelled to take spare batteries for a head torch, although I do have a new one coming that's rechargeable, so maybe that will be less important. So we've got some pasta carbonara, and we've got a dry bag that we use for putting all our brew stuff in. One of the next choices we've got to make is jet oil or my other stove. I think It's a mug, it's a stove. Somewhere Trev gave me some feet for that stove, so I will dig those out and find those. Right, so ancillary items, let's get them in the top of the pack. Spare water bottle, bug repellent lid spray, Gerber knife. It's the same company that Bear Grylls uses to make his axe. It lives up there. Puncture repair kit for the Thermarest Nearlight Air. That's important. Alright. Head torch. Definitely put the first aid kit up top, because if you need to get that in an emergency, it's right there where you want it. Same with the whistle. I've just attached that to the flint strike, so that can all go up there as well. Compass, yes. Just yes. Okay. That's the basics there. Next up, we need to consider what we're going to do about a waterproof jacket. We need to take with us some sort of insulative layer for the evening. There's a space in the front of the bag where that there is the cylindrical shape of the roll mat, and it's created this space here that I can get my arm right the way down. So I think if I can put my clothes in there, that will be a good shout. These are just, like, honestly, I love these things. These are just cheap walking socks from Tesco's. I think they're brilliant. OEX jacket, dry bag. You chuck it in, just like that, not really caring. Fortunately, it's quite a long, thin bag. More space for the other items, like the socks at the top. So I've seen this done, where you kneel on the bag, and you squeeze all the air out of it. Right. That's actually gone in there really well. Really quite happy with that. We got a tent in there, we got a sleeping bag in there, we got a roll mat in there, we got a jacket in there, we got spare socks in there that are both in a dry bag, and we've got a stove and gas in there. Plus we got all the essential little bits that we put up the top. The next item really is the whole purpose for this video. But when I went out with Trev before Christmas, one of the things I particularly enjoyed is being on location early enough to get up and enjoy the sunrise. And I'm really excited about the future of taking my camera gear with me and trying to get some photos on location of sunrises, sunsets, and so I need to put some camera equipment in this bad boy. And if you remember from the last one of these videos I've done, that camera equipment was quite heavy. First of all, I want a padded bag to carry my camera equipment in. I've got this little Tarian bag. Next up is my camera. So it's a Nikon D7200. At the minute you can see it's got a vertical battery grip on it. So what we can do is we can remove that because we don't need one of those. That saves some weight, definitely. On the front of that I've got a standard zoom, which is a 17-50 Sigma f2.8. What I will do is, to make life easier with the tripod, is I put what we call an L bracket on the side of it. So it's just about trying to save weight on the photography equipment, and this is what I've come up with as my bare minimum setup. So camera, L bracket, lens, single battery, fully charged, wide angle lens, 10-24 Tamron, that goes in there as well, polarizing filter and a variable ND, lens pen just for getting rid of any dust. There is a tiny little lens cloth in there as well. The last thing that I might take with me is my remote shutter or release, my remote shutter release. That gets sealed up, so that's fairly protected. It's the smallest bag that I have that carries everything. That then goes in the top of this. I want to be able to lay it more flat in the bag, really. Oh yeah, it'll go. Okay, so that's in there. There's no rations in there, there's no food in there at the minute, but that's definitely in there. I mean, you can see all of that. I can squeeze rations in there on top of that, that's fine. So I still have the inside compartment of that pouch there. I haven't got anything to put in there as such yet, but I can put snack bars and bits and pieces in there. I'd only need a couple of meals, such as the carbonara and that, but they can slide down the side of the camera pouch quite easily. Next up, waterproof jacket. This is a Berghaus, I forget what model it is. I have no idea where it would say, but it is by far and large the best waterproof jacket or weatherproof jacket I've ever had for hiking. For those curious what that bang was, that was the Olight Warrior I carry in the pocket. So I'll just sort of roll that up into its own hood, and then I can strap that in like so. And then adjust the top of the bag to really fit it as best you can, really. For securing the hiking poles down the side, I don't know if you've seen, but the side compression strap here, you see this little loop, it enables another sort of loop that you can push this through, hook it in down the bottom, and then sort of do it up, yeah? And then same with the other side, slide the pole through, feed it into the little loop at the bottom, and then use it to compress the side. And they've got latches on the side that are for quick release. They've also got these little tabs here that are brilliant for pulling it free, especially if you've got gloves on, if your fingers are a bit cold. And there is my Alpine Ascent 4050. One last thing is I quite enjoy using these aluminium water bottles. They're quite robust. I like to know that if I'm relying on primarily one sort of water carrier, that it's going to be quite robust, but it looks like I might have to rethink this. Okay, basically, as you can see, my basic setup. Also, I need to find a way of mounting the tripod, so that will go on this side easy enough. This is definitely something that I've done before. Okay, so tripod mounted, water bottle mounted, hiking poles on the back, tent, sleeping bag, roll mat, warm jacket, spare pair of socks. There's a stove in there with a gas bottle, all of my camera equipment. The only thing that's not in here at the minute is rations. There's water purification, spare water bottle, knife, and various other bits and pieces, compass and that at the top. Plus there's 2 torches in there, waterproof jacket, the Berghaus jacket at the top. I haven't put the map in because the map was probably something that would stay on my person, but failing that, you know, it's in a waterproof bag, I can always tuck it in there. Again, I can use this strap for securing my gaiters or waterproof trousers if necessary. I'm fairly confident that that will be suitable for my setup going forward. So, although I'm pretty much carrying exactly everything that I carried on the last camp, what I'm not carrying is an extra kilo of bag. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any comments on how you like to do your bag, put them in the comments below. Feel free to come and follow us at Summit or Nothing on Instagram. Feel free to come and follow me at Nathan Fullick on Instagram. And hopefully we'll be bringing more exciting content to you soon. Thank you very much. Cheers!